We are now 36 hours into a coordinated U.S. Israeli military offensive against Iran, a sweeping and synchronized campaign targeting the Islamic Republic's senior leadership and key military infrastructure. Iranian officials have confirmed that Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei was killed in an Israeli airstrike on Tehran at the outset of the operation. The strike marked the opening phase of what Israel has called Operation Roaring Lion, while U.S. officials have referred to their involvement as Operation Epic Fury. In response, Tehran launched multiple waves of ballistic missiles toward Israel. Air raid sirens sounded repeatedly across the country as millions of civilians rushed into shelters. Israel's air defense systems engaged incoming threats throughout the day, but several rockets reached urban areas, including Tel Aviv and other central cities. Authorities report multiple fatalities and dozens of injuries following direct impacts. One woman was killed overnight in Tel Aviv, and emergency teams continue assessing additional strike sites. A nationwide state of emergency remains in effect. Israeli airspace has been closed, and tens of thousands of reservists have been mobilized. Officials have declared that Israel is now formally at war. According to the Israel Defense Forces, the initial wave of strikes eliminated Khamenei, along with several senior Iranian military figures. Among those reportedly killed were Abdul Rahim Mousavi, Chief of Staff of Iran's Armed Forces, and Mohammad Pakpour, commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Since the launch of the operation, hundreds of targets across Iran have been struck. Israeli officials say the campaign is focused on high-ranking regime figures, military leadership, intelligence facilities, missile production sites, and nuclear infrastructure. The Israeli Air Force carried out what officials describe as the largest aerial operation in the country's history, deploying more than 200 aircraft against approximately 500 targets. The first phase reportedly neutralized radar systems and air defense batteries to establish air superiority. Subsequent waves targeted ballistic missile launch sites, storage facilities, and key strategic complexes, aiming to prevent further missile launches toward Israeli territory. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated that the offensive was launched to eliminate what he described as an existential threat to Israel and to reshape security conditions in the region. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump pledged to further degrade Iran's military capabilities and called on the Iranian population to seize what he described as a historic opportunity for change. Iran's retaliation has extended beyond Israel. Missile strikes across the Gulf region have reportedly hit areas near American and Allied positions. In the United Arab Emirates, at least 2 civilians have been killed, including one individual reportedly struck by falling debris in Abu Dhabi. Another fatality has been reported elsewhere in the Gulf during the latest barrage targeting major cities in Kuwait. At least 3 military personnel were injured by shrapnel after ballistic missiles either struck or were intercepted near Ali Al Salem Air Base, which hosts U.S. forces. Additional minor injuries were reported in the vicinity of Kuwait International Airport. U.S. Central Command states that, so far, there have been no American combat deaths or serious injuries resulting from the strikes. Officials add that damage to U.S. facilities has been limited and has not disrupted operational readiness. Missiles have targeted cities